Hello there, I'm Saem. Today, as per request, we'll be solving one of the specimen paper. This is 2023 specimen paper 3. This is upon request of some students. Okay, you have been supplied with the following source files. So let me just confirm the files. Do we have the same files? Always confirm the files, okay? Maybe if one of the files is corrupted or not there. So you have to be sure you have the same files. All right. These are the files, and here we go. Task 1 is for the evidence. Create a new word processing documents. Make sure names and number is present. I'll just keep on telling you. I'll not keep on pasting everything in the evidence. Hopefully everyone knows that. So we'll start with task 2. Web page. A trainee has started to create a web page and the style sheet for Tawara digital storage. These must be suitable for uploading to a web server. Create a new folder called this. Locate the following files and store them in your Spec2 folder. Okay, I need to follow this, so I'll just make a folder, and you have to be really careful with this. And I have to inspect the disk, style 1, style 2, and web page. Disk, style 1, style 2, and web page. These have to be over here, right? So this is the actual path. I'll just copy the path that we'll be using. Open the files spec JPG. In a suitable application, reflect the image horizontally, save the image as disk 1, right? So you have to use Photoshop for this. Most suitable one to be software is Photoshop. Oh, somehow I just did uninstall my Photoshop. So what I can do is this is not an issue. We can use any. So I just opened it. I'll open it up in Paint. Although I'll be using Photoshop for this, not Paint. So we just have to flip horizontal. When flip horizontal, it's this way. I'll just, and we're going to save it as disk1.jpg in the same folder. So same folder. Rotate the image disk1 90-degree clockwise and save disk1 90 degrees and save the image as disk2.jpg. Fine, we'll do that again. So this image that we just saved. We have to rotate it clockwise. Right 90 is clockwise, right? And save it as disk2. Crop the image disk2 so that all solid state drive is visible with an equal amount of red background inside. This image must be square. Do not distort the image. Hard disk drive must not be visible. Hard disk drive must not be visible. Save the image at disk3. Resize the image to become 600 by 600 pixels. Okay, I'm so sorry. I should have done this in Photoshop, not over here. But it will take me time to install it, so I have to use a very old tool. I still don't prefer it. I'll somehow record a very small lecture of doing this in Photoshop yet again. Okay. So what we have to do? Sorry, stuck on talking. Yes, we have to crop it equal mode. So we need to select all, and after that I can crop. And I just need to crop is how much? So this is what we have, and we're just going to save it as okay. Resize the image so that it's 16 by 16. Now we didn't do that. Let me just open it again. Got to do that. Done. Display the content of your spec folder showing the folder name, image, dimension, and all the names. So we basically have to show this. Take a screenshot of this so that we can show the type, the name, and the size of it. The style sheet is not finished and contains number of errors. You're going to edit the style sheet. Make sure that you use the most efficient methods. All color code must be in hexadecimal. Heading style 8485 do not need defining. Make sure that your style sheet contains no HTML. So we have to use external, sorry, not internal. Open the style sheet. The specification for the style sheet are this. So I would always prefer you defining it from the scratch rather than editing will take a lot of time. So we need spec style.css. Okay, as you can see over here is we have table border solid. I just want to check something. Yeah, so everything is defined, but it's not properly defined. So what we need to do is I'll just press Control A, I'll just remove it, and we one by one, we're just going to define it. So we're going to define CSS designer. Okay, you should know how to do it. It's very easy to use CC 2020. It's not a big deal. In fact, it's much more user friendly. So first of all, you have to define is a table, okay, and afterwards TD. So table size should be 90% of the width of the browser. So we'll come into selector. We'll define over here is table tag, okay. And table will have its properties. No border should be no collapsed with 2 pixels solid. So you know about the border collapse thingy. So you have over here is collapse. We'll make it separate, not collapse. And we are just going to make this, the border width will be 2 pixels. That's it. It has to be just 2 pixels of the border width, right? Border color will be this, right? I'll just copy it and just need to put the hashtag before it. So the border color, I just need to put the hashtag. And there we go. We need to define is the DD, the table data. Obviously, we just come to the selector. We'll define is the DD. And TD is supposed to be cell padding top 8 pixels. So cell padding top will be 8. Left, right 2020. Bottom 6. width, border width will be 2 pixels and it will be solid. Okay, we didn't do solid over here. I'll go back and do it. I forgot. So we'll check it again, obviously. Border width will be 2 pixels. X and style, we just need to make it solid, right? I'll do this again here. I forgot to do it over here. Style has to be solid. Okay, if you don't do it solid, it will not be visible, right? So, sorry, again, has to be done here. So, right. What else? Let's go back. Okay, border color will begin with this. Let's just copy it. The hashtag. All heading styles, instance H1, H2, H3. All heading styles will be this. So we can simply define over here is H1, H2, H3 will have the following properties over here, and we'll define this. Properties will be color will be RGB FF0000. So it's RGB. So it is FFGB, FF00. Times New Roman is not available, then times, or this not, or if this font is not available, then default serif font. So we can simply select from here. So we don't need to have the entire of this. We just need is colon. So I don't need this, right? So if Times New Roman, and serif. Okay, right? These are different families that you have. Okay. Now done with this, now we have to separately define H1, H2, and H3. So here we go. I will just define over here is our H1. Just 1 second. So since H1, H2, and H3 are different, so we have to obviously define them separately. — 48 point high. So obviously the size of alignment right. Right, not over here. In the text, I have to do it over here. Okay, so font size will be .48 point high. Alignment will be right. H2, 24 point high, H3, 18 point high. Okay, so we have to define a class over here. So this is the first time a question from the class came in. Okay, so classes can come in this paper as well. So obviously, most of you know how to define a class. Okay, well, how do you define a class? We told you before. You can define a class, name it as class, and we're going to define it. Here we go. So, and we're just going to define the class color as, just copy this, and it has to be this one. That's the color code of the class. Okay. We just have to define it. So that's how we define a class basically. Okay. So you can view one of my lecture where I have defined talk about classes. Classes, how do we make it? What are the advantages, and so on and so forth. Correct and complete, done. Place your instance number as a comment at the end of the style sheet. So obviously over here, you can simply add your comment over here. Okay. You can put your name, center number, and candidate number, right? Place your name, save the style sheet as this in your folder, as this followed by your name, center number, candidate number. So we'll just save it. Spec style. Right. Okay. Take a screenshot showing the content of the style and place in evidence document. So you have to take a screenshot of this and place it in the evidence document of the style sheet. Open the web page this in the suitable application, spec web. So we're going to open up spec web. Okay. This is what we have. Let's see what we have to do. Okay, replace this with your details. Okay, attach style sheet style one to style sheet. Fine. So just come here, attach, browse, spec one. Okay, okay, done. Replace this. Okay, attached the style sheet. You edit in step 3, so it's high priority. Fine. So we'll attach another one, and this will be spec style. Okay, so it's high priority. How do we know it's high priority? Whenever you have that particular style at the bottom, and the next, this is the high priority. So line number 5 is high priority. Line number 4 has the next priority. Okay. Save the web page. Use the class created in your style sheet to set the color of the text to the class, to Saem. Right. So where is it? Sorry, Tawara digital storage. Have I zoomed in a bit? Just 1 second. Was it? Anyway, that's just the resolution of my screen properly. Tawara digital storage. Okay. You can see over here is I have a link of class in the properties, and I can set this to this. Right. I can set this particular thing to this. So yeah, right. Place into the appropriate section of the correct web development layer. Okay, place into the appropriate section of the correct development layer. Meta tag to define this, so no problem. What's built in over there, we had a class of this. So basically, you can come to the design, and we're going to add some meta tags. So the first meta tag that I'll add is basically the char set, and this has to be UTF-8, right? The next meta tag that we have to add, the first one done. The next meta tag that we have to add is your name and as the author of the web page. So we'll have is the meta right is equal to the author content. You can add your name, Saem. Then we can have another meta, and this was keywords. And the keyword should be the following. I'll just copy it so I don't have to type. I'll just remove the and. So it has to be name will be keywords and the content will be following. Just remove the this. Okay, right? So these are the meta tags that we have, right? That's how to define the meta tags. Replace the text place image with the in the web page with the image spec SSD that you edit in step 1. Okay, that's step 1. Step 1 we did was right. Okay. Oh, see, I should have used Photoshop for this. I did crop it, but okay, I can try doing it over here as well. But let me just confirm one thing. I had no problem. We can do it here. I can. That's not the issue. It's supposed to be. I just want to see is add an appropriate. So in step 1, basically, we did was open this file, rotate and this, crop the image, save the image this, and yeah, this was it. This was the image. Just wanted to confirm. Okay, I was not sure. Okay, so done with this. Right. Add appropriate alternate text to this image. You know how to do that. We can just write an alternate text to this. Okay, type it over here. I've zoomed in a bit. Make sure it's visible and all that. Let's preview this in the browser and see if everything is fine. So I can just somehow. Just have to. sorry, this is not 600 by 600. This was supposed to be 600. Yes, but better now. Okay. Okay. What else? Right. Copy the HTML source. Fine. Done. So you just have to copy the HTML source. That's your HTML source, and you place it in the evidence document. Okay. Copy and paste over there. Right. You're going to pair an invoice using Spreadsheet for Tawara digital storage. The company makes and sells storage devices. All prices are in euro, which must be displayed in two decimal places. Open, examine the file, this and this. Okay, so there are two files given to us, which were in the other folder. One was this. I'll just close the HTML file, Dreamweaver, and we have to open up this. I hope I don't have less time, correct? So here we go. I'll just do a bit fast now. Save your spell sheet or and add your names and right. Merge the files A1 to F1. A1 to F1 merged. Format it so that it's like this. So it's right. Okay. Place your names and then we can name the left align the footer. So we will just come over here. I'll come to the print page setup, and in the footer left align, you can type your name, center number, and candidate number, right? Okay. Place functions in cell C9 to E9 to look up the model capacity and the unit price of each item using the product code for the lookup value and the external file for the array. Make sure that if no data is entered into the product code column, then nothing is displayed in the cells E9 to F9. So you can see over here is what we have is product code. Okay, if we enter the product code, we need the name, model capacity, unit price. So what do we have in the other file? We have the code, unit price, capacity, right? 1, 2, 3, and the model as well. And okay, number of items. No, we have over here is code, unit price. So we get the we get code is here. We get the unit price, the product code. Okay, the model, right? Okay. So, okay, place function capacity to look up the model. So first, let's look up the model. So obviously, we'll use is equals to. Okay, if it's empty. So just what we'll do is equals to if the product code is equals to empty, then we look up. Okay, look up product code, comma from where? Obviously from here. And we need is over here. We need is the model, and the model tends to be in 1, 2, 3, 4th column. So comma 4, comma 0, right? We can just to have a look. Can just enter dummy value. Okay, it's not available, right? I can enter this. A9 is equals to empty, then it should be empty. If name is empty, this should also be empty. Otherwise, we can have this. right, obviously. And then we need is the capacity, same way. If this is equals to empty, then comma, it should be empty. Otherwise, we look up for this, and we need is the capacity, and the capacity is the third column. Then we need unit price. If is empty, comma, empty, comma, we look up for this, comma, from here, and comma 2, because obviously we want from the second column the unit price. Done. Right. So you see we've done this. Nothing displayed. Place in cell F9 form to display the number of items to multiply the number of items by unit price. Number of items by unit price, sorry. Replicate the formula in step 10 and 11. Rows, fine. We need to just replicate this. Till where? Till rows 10 to 19. So we'll replicate all these. Replicate. Right? Okay. We'll look at the errors afterwards. Place in cell F21 function calculate total, F21. Apply per formatting to all cells in rows 9 to 21. Okay, I'll just look at this afterwards after entering some data. Print is pressing the formulas. Okay, so obviously we just have to print the formula. So you can press Control tilde, click here, double click into columns, and you can print all these, right? Control tilde again, click here and double click into columns, adjust again. Enter the address as shown like this to this. So here we go. We need to enter the address to over here. I'm sure you can do this, right? Enter the product codes. This SSD18. So we have to SSD18, SSD18, and then SSD32. Right. Save your spreadsheet and print the entire screen showing the values. Okay. Make sure printout fits on single page wide. Okay. And prints it to single page wide. Why should check this thing? The price. Let me just read this. The price, why do you want this about? Question said model capacity unit price. Okay, so even the unit price has to be done that way. There should be nothing. So they're given the unit price and the price. They didn't say about price, but we could obviously do it. I mean, I don't want this to show up. So I can simply say is that since they didn't say anything, if I want to print it out, I can just remove this. Okay. And the price is supposed to be B9. Oh, number of items. Didn't give us the number of items. Oh, 1 in 10. I'm so sorry. We have 1 and 10, right? So here we go. So we're done with this as well, right? So since they didn't say anything, I just removed it, but they did not mention to use an if condition and all that. No way. So grid not displayed. So we're done with this. So done with this paper. Okay. See you then.